Hi, and welcome to a new project of mine. We're going to be doing the Leicestershire Round. It officially starts at Bradgate Park, which is where we are, and we're going to be walking to Woodhouse Eaves. We're going to be leaving the trek, which is about 3.5 miles, and heading back. So this walk is going to be consistent of circular loops for doing the Leicestershire Round. So where the Leicestershire Round is about 100 miles, we should be roughly doing 200 miles. So we're going to be doing similar things to what we did on the trig walks, visiting churches and interesting places. So we're going to be making this as interesting as possible. So let's get going. We'll leave Newtown Linford and head into Bradgate Park, explore the ruins of Bradgate House, climb to Old John and into Woodhouse Eaves before looping back, walk through Switzerland Woods and across Bradgate Park to where we started. So the time is, I think, about 6 o'clock. As you can see, got Bradgate Park all to ourselves, which is really nice because usually down here, if you look just down there, there's a deer. We now entered Bradgate Park, one of Leicestershire's most historic landscapes. Created as a medieval deer park nearly 800 years ago, it remains one of the county's most spectacular places to walk. The landscape is dominated by ancient rocky outcrops and open heathland, giving us a glimpse of the Charnwood forest, how it looked like centuries ago. Such a wonderful place, Bradgate Park, especially this time in the morning. There's a little weir, and just over there, there's the house of Lady Jane Grey, which we'll all be going to shortly. This is interesting. In grateful remembrance of Charles Benyon of Thurmby in this county, who in the year 1928, with the helpful concurrence of the Grey of Gruby, purchased from them this park of Bradgate and presented it to the Trust for the City and County of Leicester, that for all time it might be preserved in the natural state for the quiet enjoyment of the people of Leicestershire. Its true memorial lays around. So you'll eventually come to the sign that says Leicestershire Round and Old John. So you pick this up and you turn left just up there. So it takes you around Lady Jane Grey's house. You can't get in, sometimes it's open. I think we've picked the most awkward route to take, haven't we, Steve? This isn't easy, is it? We're just travelling over the old ruins. Old buildings. Not much remains of this place, but as you can see, it's been kept maintained. This was the childhood home of Lady Jane Grey, England's famous 9-day queen. Her reign lasted only, believe it or not, 9 days before she was overthrown and later executed, making her one of the most tragic figures in English history. Local legend says her spirit still walks these grounds, adding another layer of mystery to this remarkable place. Not a lot to see in there. I don't know whether you could tell, but to follow the Leicestershire Round, when you get to Lady Jane Grey's house, you turn left up there and you follow the path and eventually you'll see the Old John. And there's a bit of a wiggle around there, or I say wiggle, it's a bit of a walk up there and it's a nice climb. But you get to Old John, then back down the other side. So just before you get to this fence here, you turn left here. We're trying to keep to the proper footpath of the Leicestershire Round, and it goes straight ahead and you can see another path goes up there, but that's our main objective, Old John. So we're getting closer to Old John. As you can see, It's a good climb up here, but according to my watch, my heart rate's 171. I really can't see that. Probably got it set up wrong. Ahead of us stands Old John, the iconic tower that overlooks Bradgate Park. Built in 1784, it's one of Leicestershire's best known landmarks and offers an incredible view across the county. Like many places, it has gathered its own ghost stories over the years, with local tales of mysterious figures seen around the tower after dark. It's a perfect excuse to stop and enjoy the view and get your breath back. After our little stop at Old John, we're now going to head down, and you got the car park at the back end, well actually the top end of Bradgate Park. We're going to be walking through there, and one of my phobias, you're going to be walking through a golf course. I hate walking through golf courses for obvious reasons, so you're going to be heading that way. Never been in this car park, it's this empty. Oh, the gate's open. So once you've gone through the car park, you go through the gate, then you turn right and then turn left, and you head down there for a bit, and then you go across the golf course. So I think this is Warren Hill, is it?
Yeah.
Steve just said this is Hunts Hill. So you turn right at Hunts Hill and you go down Ben's Cliff Road. And as you can see, there's a sign there for the Leicestershire Round, which I will show you. So to this point, we've done 2.83 miles. So we're now going down Ben's Cliff Road. This is dead easy to follow, this section is, because you've got another sign there saying the Leicestershire Round footpath, Woodhouse Eaves, which is where we're heading to. That's 1.5 miles. And the best thing is, when we get there, we start heading back. So as you can see, the sign says 1.5 miles to Woodhouse Eaves. That's where we'll be leaving the Leicestershire Round and heading back round to, I think, Swithin Reservoir and around that area. I can't remember the whole of the route, but should be about 8.5, 9 miles by the time we finish. So we're just heading down here. I think the golf course is just down here, but as we're walking down here, you can hear all the birds in the woods. I'm not too sure what these woods are called. So there's this Brough Hill Woodlands. Oh, sorry. Steve keeps correcting me. There's loads of midgets around here. This is Brough Hill Woodlands. We want to camp in there overnight. As you can see, this is the best time of day to actually walk through a golf course as the golf ball comes flying over. We're heading this way. Just felt a little drop of rain, did you, Steve?
I missed that one.
Oh. So I don't know what this road is called. We go over this little bridge and we cross over. I'm gonna let this car go by.
I believe this is Joe Moore's lane.
What lane?
Joe Moore's.
This is Joe Moore Lane. But we're going to follow this way now. Woodhouse Eaves, 1.25 miles, so it's just a quarter of a mile. See, this is rather nice round here. That water actually looks drinkable, doesn't it?
It'd be alright to put your head in to cool yourself down.
So we're almost at the end of the golf course now, and we're going to be in safe territory very shortly. Even at this time of day, there's quite a few people playing golf. They can say what time of day. Do you know what time it is, Steve? Oh, I thought Steve had a watch on.
Yeah.
I know I've done the Leicestershire Round before, but I really don't remember. I remember back there, but I don't remember this section. But it has been about 3 years ago. But got a sign there saying public footpath, and there's another one here, the Leicestershire Round. So we're now coming to the back end of Woodhouse Eaves. Just seeing a group of people doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Looks like they were having fun. Actually, they did say they were having fun. But it's just coming back through an old stable area. I will just come into Woodhouse Eaves, the Leicestershire Round. I think we'll leave it, but you've got a junction just down here where it goes, crosses over the road, but we're going to be turning right. But we're just going to be walking through the lovely village of Woodhouse Eaves at the moment. If the time was right and not 7:30 in the morning, we'd have liked to have gone to the Curzon Arms, but unfortunately we're not. But we carry on past the Curzon Arms, and we're heading down here. Oh, we're open at 10 AM. For coffee and cake. Look at that, coffee and cake at 10 AM. So this is where we leave the Leicestershire Round now. So when you get to the Oakwood Pharmacy, we're going to be turning right up Church Hill. And we're going to have a quick little look around the church. I know we've been there before on the trig walks, but we're going to have a little look around there today again. So we're going to head just up here. So we came across this last time by accident. It's a forest rock. It's very interesting. I'm going to take another little visit here. It's It's not brilliant, but it's worth a visit. It's sort of just below the church. So this is Forest Rock. Makes you wonder what happened here years ago. Good people who lived in here. You'd like to think it goes back for, you know, a fair distance, but it doesn't. Well, this is basically it. I'd like to say old cave markings, but it's not. But let's have a look what's back there. So it literally ends there. Inside the cave. There's water trickling through. Go that deep. But it is very interesting. You can see all the runoff. All the rocks are wet. So this we So the most prominent building made of stone from this quarry is St Paul's Church, which sits on a small hill directly above Forest Rock. The oldest part of the church was built in 1837 and was designed by the prominent architect William Melton, who a few years later would go to design Nelson's Column in London. Records from this time shows that Melton instructed the builder William Kirk to get the stone needed for the church from and out of the land adjoining the site of the said chapel. So we're now going to visit the said chapel. So here we are at St Paul's Church. Been here before, but as usual, I'm going to have a quick look for the benchmark. I'm going to see if we can actually get in. So here's the main entrance to the church. As always, I don't think we're going to get in because, unfortunately, churches never seem to be open nowadays. But I think it's now time for a snack. St Paul's Church, 2017 to 2018, to commemorate with grateful thanks the restoration of this chancel for future generations made possible by granting funds from the lottery fund. That's interesting. But it looks like someone's going to have a bonfire just there. Whoa. What an area. It looks like the old manor house. This is the parish church of Woodhouse Eaves. Standing in the heart of Woodhouse Eaves, this parish church of St Paul's was built in 1837 to serve the growing village. Constructed from local Charnwood granite, it blends perfectly with its surroundings and has been a focal point of village life for almost 2 centuries. It's a simple but beautiful church that reflects the character and heritage of this unique corner of Leicestershire. Our return journey, once you've been to the church, you head up the hill and you'll see a sign for the National Forest Way. So this is what we're going to follow back to the car, sort of. So we're going to go up here. It looks like one of these old tracks that you see back in the 18th century. There's a lovely wall there. In fact, the wall on this side's very nice. But it's so quiet behind here. Like I've just been saying to Steve, where is everybody? Like it's about 8:15 now. We've only seen runners and dog walkers. Then once you've gone past that wall, you'll see a little sign saying, basically Leicestershire County Council. You turn right down here. So you're going through the back end of Woodhouse Eaves. I'm basically going to be going past the Curzon Arms again and looping round. And I think we've got about another, 4 miles back to the car. This path is a little bit overgrown, but with Steve being in front, he's actually disturbing half the stuff. And the amount of moths and butterflies that you see coming out from around here, I'm sure there's some indigenous species around here. I'm trying to sound clever now, saying the word indigenous. But here's some thistles. True to form, shouldn't came this way, but it was interesting coming down here. We didn't need to go down that path. We needed to keep going up the road. So we took a slight little diversion. It's only about 5 minutes out of the way, but we're heading back now. So we can tell it's the weekend. We've had several days of, it's been so hot weather, and now it's Saturday. It's on and off raining, chucking it down. We've just done 5.5 miles. So we're back where we started from after that slight diversion. What still things that? Oh, church bells again. Yeah, I don't know what that could be for. It's got holes there, probably used to be for some sort of fence along here, sign. Like it's got nice architecture on there, so it's probably Victorian. You can imagine that a Victorian path, can't you, for the people to walk down to go to the church. Yeah. So this is Brand Hill we're going up. Brand Hill. This all looks very posh around here. You can guarantee we're probably being watched at the moment. This looks like a private estate, Lady Martin Drive. But what an area. There's probably going to be a sign saying step back. There's several places up there. Makes you wonder what the stories behind these cottages, all being identical in the middle of nowhere really, next to the wheat sheaf. They could be old mill cottages or something like that for a mill house. You've got the windmill up the road, so the wheat sheaf might be some connection there. But that is a nice pub, but again, too early. So when you're going along this road, I can't remember what it's called again, Brant Hill or something like Brand Hill. We're going to be turning right just here, and we follow the signpost for Switzerland and Bradgate Country Park. And we've been walking for basically 3 hours. Well, actually we've been out for 3 hours, but we're going to be turning right just here. It's getting busy now as we're going up Switzerland Road, and we've actually seen 6 people.
About 4 cars.
Yeah, and 4 cars. We're going up Switzerland Woods, and just up here we're going to be turning left through Switzerland Woods. Better get onto the path, I think there's a car coming. You can actually cross over here, there's a path there, isn't there? Yeah, so it's just heading up here. Yeah, it's all quarries around here from, I don't know how many years ago, but they quarried for the slate round here. And in Switzerland Woods, you've got quite a lot of quarries for the Switzerland slate. And if you notice around this area, there's loads of buildings around here. Even the walls are built from Switzerland slate, Switzerland stone, like that wall along there. So it just came across something, well, Steve spotted this. That building there. They got an old quarry just here. So hidden in the undergrowth just there, there's some old building. Might be a mine shaft or something like that. Yeah. They've got another one just over there. They've got signs and a lot saying, in fact, when you look at the wall on there, what's that called, that wall, when it's got the, like the castle top?
Castellations.
Castellations. So you've got castellation on top of that. So it looks like a little castle there, but it's very interesting. But we're going to see if we can actually get in there now, are we?
Maybe.
Looks even better from this angle. There's a sign just there saying private property, keep out. This is interesting, very interesting. Well, it looks like we're not the only people that have ever been down here. God, what a wonderful sight. This is... Can't hear anything. It looks like there used to be 2 floors here. But then when you see those beams across there and got that hole there, could that have been anything? Yeah, it would have been. So there's not much wildlife on there. Could do sort of scraping clean. But what a place to visit. Yeah. Well, that was an interesting find. Well, when I say interesting find, Steve should take credit for that one. Don't know what. Oh my God! Steve's on top form here. Got a benchmark, I think. It looks like a benchmark. Don't really know. I'm going to say yes to that. But it used to have some sort of numbers in there. As you can see, you have to be very careful crossing this road. And now we're crossing over and we're picking up, we're leaving Switzerland Road. We're picking up again to the National Forest Way and Switzerland Woods, and we're heading down here. It's nice to leave that road. We've been complaining about it being very, well, not complaining, but commenting about how quiet it is. Everybody's getting up now. So follow this path. We're now entering Switzerland Woods. This ancient woodland is one of Leicestershire's oldest surviving forests, and it's rich in wildlife throughout the year. The rock beneath our feet is over 600 million years old, making this one of the oldest landscapes in England. And a little known fact that I'm sure everybody knows about, it was in these very woods that David Attenborough actually spotted a fossil, which he had displayed, I think, at the National History Museum. And that's his first find and got him interested in the natural history. I'm sure everybody knows that, and I probably got that wrong. So you come to a fork, you turn right, you'll see a little yellow way marker down here. I used to come, I'm sure you're interested, but I used to come mountain biking all around here, and there's some good drop-offs and that lot. But you could easily get lost around here without a map, couldn't you?
Oh yeah. Lots of little trails and walks, isn't there?
Yeah, I'll check my map again in a minute.
Some people catch up on it.
Not too sure what this is. In memory of Alan Lawsby, 50 years of campaigning to protect our footpaths. That's interesting, he should be remembered. This is another pit that we're actually not going to see. Be a quarry there, but I think we've already got probably the best looking quarry. But over there, it's supposed to be big, but we can't see it. But if you ever come around here, there's loads of footpaths that you can follow, from the one that we're taking, the National Forest Way, to the red route, green route, and the blue routes. Probably 4 different capabilities. But at the moment, we're taking the black route. When you hear, well, there seems to be a lot of bees around this area, or wasps. There's got to be a hive around here somewhere. But as you can see, nobody about. Don't know whether they might well pick up the bees or the birds. But we just came from that area. We're just going to see if we can actually see the pit. What's that, Steve?
Still can't see it.
Oh, still can't see it. Is it worth me struggling up there? There was nothing to see there. It's too well protected, so we're going to carry on the walk. So it's a little bit hidden. You're walking along here and you come across this little path and you head down here, down these steps, and you're picking up this stream. I can't film and walk down at the same time. I'm going to give it a try. And along this nice little stream, oh, more people. But this is rather pleasant. So the map says that the path is on the other side, but you stick to this side of the river, well, the stream, and you cross over this nice little bridge. And this takes us into some woods. Not too sure what the woods are. Well, this ain't part of Switzerland Woods. Some nice butterflies in there. Obviously this won't pick it up, but these are maple, field maple. Looks like somebody started an arboretum around here. You got maple, hazel. Don't know what that's going to be down here. Steve looking cool. This is an interesting one. Wild cherry. We're now leaving all the countryside and the woodland area. Well, when I say countryside, we're still in the country really. We're coming back onto the main roads and we're going to be heading down towards, I think it's the Badger Set. And then we're going to be picking up Cropston Reservoir and walking along that area. So not far from the Horseshoe Cottage Farm, you'll see a sign, Bradgate Country Park. But we're going to be turning where it's got public footpath here. And so no entrance for vehicles except for access. And we're going to be turning up here and left around this area. It's going to be a lot nicer than walking along the road, even though we're not walking along that road for long. But I think just down here, actually I think I'm not too sure, but like I say, I do know this area slightly, but I'm thinking this is the bottom end of, in fact I'm going to be quiet. Well, Steve just pointed out I'm completely wrong, which isn't unusual, and this is a car park for Cropston Reservoir. And we're going to be walking around that very shortly. So now I know where I am. That's Cropston Reservoir, and we'll follow this back to the car, which is quite a good little circular route, isn't it?
Oh yes.
So we should start saying, oh, and look, it's heaving now. We had the place to ourselves earlier. And I think there's some hides around here somewhere, isn't there? We could look for the wildlife. Just noticed there's the Memorial Woods. So we're going to have a little stroll around here. Looks like nobody ever comes here, which is unusual. Looks very nice and relaxing. It's rather nice round here. Oh, so they've got loads in reserve, haven't they? So you can actually have your name carved on one of these or put on one of these when you die. I actually thought we were going to get to it, but that's the boathouse just over there. Sounds like there's a boat actually on there, doesn't it? But there's the old boathouse. Looks like people might use that. This is Cropson Reservoir, built in 1873 to supply Leicester with clean drinking water. Cropson Reservoir is now a peaceful haven for wildlife and one of Charnwood's most picturesque landscapes, attracting walkers, bird watchers and photographers throughout the year. So you've got the Deer Hut here, cafe, halfway around. If you walked along the main drag along through Bradgate Park from one car park to the car park, you can stop here. Most people do, but we've only got about another 1.5 miles to go, then we've finished our walk. Back at Lady Jane Grey's house. Quite an impressive building when you think how old it is. Well, we could hear peacocks and peahens earlier, but there they are. Don't know what the collective noun is for peacocks. Is it a pride or a perfection or a posse? But that looks like the alpha peacock, and that looks like the peahens up there. Just gotta miss all the noises. As you can see, we've been across this path, so we're basically on the bit where we actually walk along twice. Where this morning we saw the deer, but now all you can see is people and ducks. Ducks are here because they probably get fed by other people. The deer have cleared off because they don't like people. But we're almost back at the car park. Standing beside the entrance to the Bradgate Park is All Saints Church, a beautiful Grade 2 listed building with parts dating back to the 14th and 15th century. The church has close links with the Grey family of Bradgate House, and Lady Jane Grey herself would almost have certainly have been known at this place. I don't expect for one instant this to be open. No, that's hardly a surprise, but let's have a look for the benchmark. That's the benchmark at All Saints Church, Newtown, Linford. We're going to nip into the Bradgate, see whether we can get a sneaky little pint in here. Steve's been whittling. It's worse than Henry. So that's the first leg of the Leicestershire Round. We've done about 10 miles, just over, in fact we've done 10.5 miles. We've carried on the Leicestershire Round until we got to Woodhouse Eaves, and we picked up the New Forest Trail on the way back to Newtown, Linford. So as you can see, it's been a hot, sweaty day, as you can tell by my sort of decorative tie-dye or sweat-dye t-shirt. But it's now time for a cheeky pint and back to the car. We've enjoyed this section. I don't know how long it's going to take us through this, but by the time we actually have done it, we should be roughly around about 200 miles, because it's a 100-mile loop, so obviously a there and a back. So hopefully I'll see you again next time, and until then, thank you.